Everdeen, and welcome to part 2 of the Sequoia halter top. I'm just going to start where I left off in part 1, so if you have not seen that yet, I will link it in the description box below. Alrighty then, let's get started. And after this point, we are finally ready to start making the actual halter top. And today we're actually going to be making it the opposite way that I normally do. If you've seen any of my other halter top videos, we normally start from the bottom and work our way up, but today we're going to start from the top and work our way down. So I left off on one of the points, and I'm just going to single crochet down a little further so it's not right at the point. And I just single crocheted 3 times, and then I chained 3, and then now I'm going back on that chain using a single crochet. And the reason that I moved from the point to a little bit lower than the point was because I didn't really want to start right at the point. I wanted to start a little above it, so that's why I moved. But if you don't mind, then it doesn't really matter. Just chain 3, then go back on that chain using single crochet, and then once you reach the flower project, you're going to flip it around and then go back on that row using single crochet again. The rest of the project is going to be nothing but single crochet. And once you reach the end of that row, you're actually going to crochet or single crochet 2 times into the very last stitch, and then you're going to flip it over and then make sure that you go into the very first stitch that you just created and create more single crochets on that row as well. And what that's going to do every time you add that second single crochet inside of the last row is that's going to widen the top, and that's exactly what you want because you want the bottom of the halter top to obviously be bigger and be able to wrap around you. So that's why we are adding that extra single crochet. So I will show you what we're creating right now after I make this one last row. So this is the last stitch in the row, and I'm just going to create 2 single crochets in that last stitch, then chain 1, flip it over, and then go into that very first stitch, and there you go. It's widening as we go, which is perfect because it's going to give that halter top effect where it is wide at the bottom and then skinnier at the top. So this is what it should look like. We're making this triangular shape around this design. So the bottom will be nice and wide, and the top will be nice and small. You're just going to continue until we get to right here, and then I'll show you what I do to make the other side. So just finish off until you reach this point right here, and then we will continue from there. So I have completed this side, doing the exact same thing that I showed you. And now we're going to single crochet our way across, slip stitch our way up, and then do the exact same thing but just on the other side. We're going to meet again down here. And actually something that I want to add really quick, hopefully you haven't already gone this far without listening to this, I want to suggest that instead of chaining 3 the first time you start this little area right here on the top left corner, you see how it kind of has like a little angle and it's not really straight and fluid like a regular halter top. In order to avoid that little divot, it's probably better instead of starting off with chaining 3 and then going back on the chain with single crochet and then continuing this pattern. I think it'd be better if you chained 1, maybe 2 maximum, but 3 is a little too much, and that's why it looks kind of weird. And this was actually the main reason why I didn't keep the top, because I messed up right here. And if you want to make it smoother and you don't want this little weird divot in your top, then try chaining 1, then going back on that chain with a single crochet, attaching a single crochet to the wall of the flower design, and then flipping it over, single crocheting into that next stitch, and then single crocheting again into the same stitch so you could like build off from there, and then continue the pattern from there. Basically, the only thing that I would change is in the very, very beginning when we're starting the halter top, instead of chaining 3 and then starting the whole process, just chain 1, maximum 2, in order for it to look better. Hopefully that didn't confuse you. If it did, then just ignore it and let's move on to the next step. So I've just completed the other half of the top half of the top by doing the exact same thing that I did on the first side. Except I actually need to flip it over because it might be confusing. Okay, so this was my first side that I did. Then I came across right here, up here, and then did the exact same thing that I did on the first side, and then now I ended off at that spot right there. And from here, all we're going to do is basically the same exact thing except on a larger scale. We're just going to be single crocheting back and forth, and at the end of each row we're going to be adding that extra stitch by creating 2 single crochets inside of the last stitch and then chaining 1 and then flipping it over and then going into the very first stitch of the new row and just continuing with that pattern. And that's going to make the top wider and make it look like an actual halter top. Now I'm going to show you what I have so far, and it looks really weird, and the way I'm going to make it look much better is I'm actually going to do a layer of single crochet around the top just so it looks nicer. But let me just explain to you what I did. Again, this is how I worked. We worked backwards, where normally I work from the bottom up to the top. But this time we worked from the top down to the bottom, making it wider. And now we ended off right here, or at least I ended up right here. You could make this top as short or as long as you would like. I wanted mine to go right above my belly button, so that's where I ended, but you can keep going if you want. So from here, I'm going to single crochet my way all the way to this point right here. And it's going to look more like a square. So from right here, I'm going to chain 150 and then go back on that chain using a slip stitch and then single crochet my way across to the other side and also make another point and make another chain of 150 and then go back on it using slip stitch, single crochet my way down, and I should be done with the actual top itself. So there you go. I just created the straps. So single crochet over here, made the strap, went back on it using a slip stitch, then I single crocheted across the top right here, made another strap the same way, single crocheted my way down and across, and now I'm right here. And if you want to finish the project, because yes, you are completely finished with the project, you just detach the yarn from the yarn ball and then seal it off as you normally would. But the thing is, I'm pretty sure I'm going to unravel this and just salvage the yarn for another project. So I'm just going to keep that there. So just ignore it, pretend that I sealed it off. And now you're going to decide which side is the front and which is the back. Normally there's one side that looks better than the other, so decide which one's the front and the back. Make sure that the back is facing you when you're attaching the straps, and all you have to do to attach the straps is grab one side, bring it over to the opposite side, then attach it to not the very bottom, but close to the bottom, and then bring it over to the other side again, and then attach it to the very bottom. And then you're going to do the exact same thing with the other strap. You're going to grab that strap, you're going to reach it over to the opposite side, and then you're going to attach it to not the very bottom of the top, but a little bit above it, like so. And then you're going to take that strap and reach it over the opposite side once more and attach it to the very bottom. So reach over and attach it to the very bottom right here. And after you've done that, then you are done with your top, and now you can wear it and love it forever. Woohoo! I just wanted to give a super special shout out to my supporters over on Patreon who are a part of my crochet community and really appreciate my work. I appreciate you as well. And I also want to give a shout out to those of you here on YouTube who are very kind and always express your love for crochet and are respectful. You guys are also the reason I continue posting on YouTube. and I really, really appreciate your support, and I just wanted to thank you once again. And I also wanted to let you know that if you're interested in monthly crochet tutorials, then please read the description box below. Otherwise, it might actually be a while for my next tutorial to come up on YouTube. But if you enjoyed this tutorial and also support me making more crochet tutorials on YouTube, please give this video a thumbs up and also click that red subscribe button if you have not already, so I can see you next time. Bye!